Introducing the first episode of a devlog miniseries about my current game development endeavour, Canopy. Canopy is a precision platformer Metroidvania where you play as a small bird whose treetop kingdom has fallen. To rebuild your home, you'll have to explore the forest and pick up some new skills to help you traverse a new and challenging environment. This project was born out of 2 points of inspiration. First was my desire to make my pixel art more interesting, and second was the opportunity to make a game for the Metroidvania Month Jam. We're a little way into the jam at the time of recording, and I'm liking the structure it's giving me. 1 month to make a small Metroidvania, and it's also giving me a community with all the participants sharing progress on the jam's Discord server. As for spicing up my pixel art, I wanted to move away from the 16 by 16 grid size that I basically always use and try out 12 by 12. Then, to add another creative restriction, I decided to work within the limitation of a 12 color palette. So I searched low spec for 12 color palettes and found this Japanese woodblock palette by Polydux, and after slight modification decided to use it. Also on this page I found some pixel art of a bird, so maybe that's where I got the setting for my game from. 12 has become a bit of a theme in my game, and I find using this number very helpful for forcing me to make quick decisions. How many abilities should I have? How many areas should there be? How many obstacles do I need to design? How many NPCs should there be? Basically, all the questions I have about the design of my game can be answered with 12. Anyway, once I had this idea, I hopped into Pixel Edit and quickly sketched out this tile set. Then I drew this bird sprite with an idle frame and 2 run frames, and I put all of this into GameMaker, using my standard method for making platformers, mostly based on the many Sean Spalding tutorials I watched ages ago. I had a basic prototype working. Now, knowing that I was making a Metroidvania where the player would have a bunch of different abilities and have access to different abilities at different times, I decided it was important to implement a finite state machine. This is basically a system which allows the player to be in one state at a time and only have to run code relating to that state. For example, the player can be in an idle state, so I only have to check the input code. But then if they press left or right, then I should switch the player to the movement state and start running the movement code. If this sounds complicated, then I would do more research, as there are people who explain it in way more depth than me, but also know that luckily all the work has basically been done for you. Recently I learned about Snow State by Sahon, which is a super robust and simple way of handling a finite state machine. Once it's set up, you can just define all your states and what code should be run when you enter the state, every frame of the state, and when you leave the state. You can also define transitions between states and run code when these transitions are triggered. You can also track the history of the player's states, so all in all, it's really helped me in a couple projects now. With this in place, I then spent some time brainstorming ideas for all the abilities in my game. Because Canopy is a precision platformer, and because I only had 1 month to make the game, all of the abilities tie into the platforming and augment your movement. I tried to avoid designing any abilities which were simply keys to open locks. For example, I didn't want a red gun to open red doors and a blue gun to open blue doors. In Canopy, you can unlock a dash, which as well as giving you massive horizontal speed, allows you to pass through obstacles. So dashing increases your movement ability, but it also allows you to reach new areas, for example by dashing through a wall of spikes or by leaping over a large gap. I won't reveal all the abilities I designed in this first devlog, but I have all 12 implemented already in a way that I'm pretty happy with. Well, I think that should probably be about it for this first episode. The jam is only a month long, so I hope to have the game done by then. Whether I'll release it for free online or think about putting it on Steam will depend on how happy I am with the final product, but hopefully I'll have a devlog out every week summarizing my progress. Maybe in the next episode I'll talk about philosophy for level and world design, as well as the interesting thing I'm doing with checkpoints. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you're notified of any new videos. Also make sure to leave a comment to tell me if you like how the game looks or if you have any new ideas for it.